Good morning. Well, we're gonna roll back into the working on this Panzer IV, or finishing up working on this Panzer IV. Not a whole lot left to do on it from the black lining perspective. There's not a ton of rivets on here, so we want to highlight the ones that are here so that they stand out a little bit. Good morning, Marcus. I don't think there's a whole lot left. Lucky number 4. Well, I haven't even bothered to look if I can find the hatch. The hatch is over there somewhere. You'll be all right. I think that's all it needs. Man, this cough, it just won't go away. I think it happened last year. We'll go watch my videos. Was I coughing? Yeah. Could be pollen. It's almost like everything's fine until it's cold, and then it warms up, and all the tree, and all the pollen comes out. Okay, so we've got this stack of 4 and the oddball. Because the other 4 are completely done, other than adding like details and stuff to them. So we're going to add details to all, I guess technically 9 when we're done. So these are all pretty much done to the same level, except these don't have numberings. Okay, so I think that's what we need to do next. Next, we'll do the numberings before we do the drippings. Okay. So now we have a problem. And the problem I have is I need to look up an article that is on my phone, and I'm using my phone for filming. How's my mother? My real mother? She died when I was 4, so I don't remember her. Thanks for asking. I don't talk about my family on here. It's not that exciting. You shouldn't care. When he gets on all 4s, I'll be lucky. Not that kind of channel. Appreciate the thought, though. You could do better than me. So what I'm going to do is I have to search for something on my phone, which I don't really know what it's going to do to the screen, but I'll still be here. And I'm going to write some notes here on, like I did about the numbering. So I need to pick what these guys are. So the first company is the one that has the H's. So let me set the H's off to the side with this one. So these definitely will have a 1 numeral on it. We need to make up what the other 3 numerals will be on them. And then the G's will be the ones that have the 2 on them. I know that for a fact. And then this, of course, this one already has the numeral. So I'm going to set this one off to the side. So let's see what this, they are made of resin, and this is what they look like. Here's what they look like unpainted. I can't show you the right tanks because these are all German tanks, but this is the same printer. This is a British A13. We'll be jumping on these soon, and they're almost flexible a little bit. It's a resin print, 4K or 8K or something like that. No matter what print you have, there's always some area that has little lines showing. See, the front of the glacis has, that's just part of they all have that. Even, I have some plastic models that even have that, but that's like the only place that has it. So it doesn't bother me. Some people like freak out. These things are really good and really detailed, even with that. That's really the only imperfection these things have. So these will be coming up soon, and they're going to look a lot prettier than the Afrika Korp. The Afrika Korp is just all sand colored and weathered, and that's about it. That's how I want them. So what's my favorite tank? Oh geez, I don't know. I don't have one. I like too many. I like almost all of them. I could maybe name on one hand tanks I hate. You ever thought about 3D printing models? If you don't already, not me. No, I paint. The guys that 3D print don't paint. It's too time consuming. I wouldn't be able to get all this done. I mean, I got like 200 models behind one of the other feeds. I did it. I did a walkthrough. I probably should do a professional one, or more professional one. But so they take a while. They take a while to do. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Flip it back over. There we go. So I can bring it over here. They're in the display case back here. So here's some big cats. There's the desert stuff I'm working on. Buildings. Other yellow Germans. Gray Germans. The other bad guys, the Russians. They're over here. More Russians. The Americans are up here. So they just get put over here when we're done. So. All right. let's flip this thing back over. Yeah, that's the problem with using my phone, is I use the phone for a lot of... Okay. Hello, folks. Let me get... Of course. But if I use the computer, which has a little bit better resolution, it doesn't, the video doesn't get suggested to all you guys. I'm not sure why that happens. The mystery of the whatever it is. Patrick oh boy, I'm going to say that wrong. Patrick Mazurkiewicz. Patrick Mazurkiewicz. How did I do? Better than most Americans. I know that might not be good enough, but that's all I can do. Okay, boy, that's been violated many times. I have one that has a little bit less of oh, there we go, less chaos on the palette there. One of these days, I'm gonna get around to washing all these. All right, I'm actually gonna flip this. This side's easier to get to. I don't have to go over the little edge. All right, so let's get some red out here. Some red and some black. We're going to need those two major players. And yeah, the video drops when I switch to the other stuff on my phone, I guess. But that's all I had to do. I had to figure out what we were going to name these vehicles. Because I've been hand painting all my decals and all my vehicle markings and been really happy doing that. All right, so let's make sure we don't get out of sorts here. Those are the ones and these are the twos. So let's do the ones first. So what do you got to do? 133 and 135? Okay. And we don't have a 131 because that might be a J according to that list. Okay. Let's pop this guy off. That should be enough. And let's get a proper mixture here. Want it thin, but not too thin. All right, and this one's going to be, what number is this one going to be? This is an H. This is going to be 133. So we're going to have a big 1, just like this. It's backwards. There's nothing I can do about it. And then the small 133 underneath the vision slot. And on the back, we're going to have a big 1 and the small 133 and a smaller one. That's what this 15th Panzer Division did at this time, as far as I can tell. What did we say this one was? 133? Okay. The trick with painting numbers, if you have to paint two numbers that are exactly the same number, whether it's a pair of twos, a pair of threes, got to be really tricky because they gotta look really similar to each other. And then we'll flip to the other side. And we're going to go over it with a brighter color. So it's almost like I'm sketching it to begin with. So is this my daily job? No, I like to eat. There's people that do this for a living, but I don't know how they survive. No, I like doing this. I don't like my daily job. We don't talk about daily jobs on here. That's depressing. Got to be a realist. You know, you can't be one of those. I want to paint tanks when I grow up. Okay, have fun starving, kid. There's a 133, and then we'll do the same thing on the back. Got the big one, big red, big red one. How far did we go to from the top? This is going to be a little tricky how to hold it. All right, it's not perfect, but we're going to have a chance to clean that up. It's not noticeable. Sorry, it's backwards. There's actually no way to turn it around on a camera feed. I'm doing Russian numbers. They're backwards. This kind of sketches where it is, and then you use the other red to really clean it up. Okay, but I've got this mixed up, so I'm going to keep going with the other numbers on the other one. What's the other one? 135? 135. If you're dropping numbers, always pull the brush towards you. It makes it easier to get the numbers more straight. 135 is as high, that 5, that last digit is as high as you'll ever see them go, unless you're using fake numbers. And by fake numbers, like numbering things wrong on purpose to confuse the enemy. But the last number is the tank in the platoon. So you're not going to have like 7 tanks, 8 tanks, 9 tanks in a platoon. You're going to have a maximum of 5. And sometimes 5 is a rarity. You usually only get up to 4. So normally you would just, you wouldn't have a big number. The way that the Germans normally name things, it would be all 3 numbers on the side of the turret. The first number is what company it's in. The second one would be which platoon. And the last one would be what number of tanks in the platoon. So 135 would be first company, 3rd platoon, 5th tank. And by and large, that's almost always the case. There's exceptions to them. There's some units that just skip the platoon altogether. I skip the company altogether and put platoon and number of tanks, so 2 digits. And there's some that just used 1. And there's some that used 1 like this and use the other 3 in smaller form. I've got to use the 3 in the smaller form if I'm going to use the 1 big number, because otherwise every one of these tanks would all have a 1 on it. And they would, like, why have a bunch of tanks that have the same number on them? It looks like a mistake. So and then the same thing on the back. I think I'm going to need a little bit more for this last one. Okay, now we've done all the sides of this one. So now we're going to go ahead and do the red. I'm just going to use a straight red. So I want lots of contrast. I don't want it to be real smooth. But if you put this on here without putting a darker level underneath it, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right to me. Nobody's here. He's spiritual. Nobody. Reminds me of that time that I was at the store and two Utes came to me and asked me if I had a solid quarter. And, you know, I wasn't expected to be quizzed. A solid quarter was opposed to a liquid one or a gaseous one. Gaseous one with no body. I actually bought something in the last 2 weeks with cash. I didn't know what to do with the change. I'm like the coins. Like, I don't remember the last time I had coins. Okay, this one's done. You're here. What did you guys see when I switched screens? Did the video just stop? Just putting goop on the bases of these winter Soviets. What did you see when I switched screens? Video dropped for you, but what does it mean? Did you still have a black screen, or could you still hear me? I won't be able to find out for a couple days. Till I'm able to watch the video. Oh, complete drop. Okay. Well, I had to do that for the numbers. Sorry. I guess that's one way to get people off your channel. That guy's being a pain in the ass. All right. Well, let me go to my blank screen and come back. Like, oh look, it's Uncle Adolf. He came for a visit. All right, time to change the channel. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lighten this color up a little bit, and I don't think I may do it with white. I'm more comfortable doing it with white than any other one. So let me just see what color I get. I'm okay if it goes a tiny bit pink. It needs to pop a little bit more. It should be enough. You need to be able to see this at a little bit more at a distance. Maybe something like that. Nothing crazy. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Gooping the Winter Soviets. You putting a snow goop on them, or are you using some kind of like gray terrain? You're going to put standing snow on them? Using any of those snow products? Okay, this is, I think, better than not having this. And it's only slightly brighter. Yeah, it looks terrible backwards, but yeah, that's not even that. It's not even that noticeable. It just gives it a little bit more. Be able to see it at a distance. Visibility. Use the Vallejo Dark Earth and just dry brush. So your goop already has a color mixed into it. Yeah, I haven't tried any of those. And some people was like, man, you could just mix color into yours and it'd already be the color. I said, yeah, but the problem is it's glossy. At least the one I use, every goop I've used is glossy, and I don't want to seal the base. That's a pain in the butt. Okay, there's 133. And then let's go back and do the original 132. Okay, so these are 3 tanks from the 1st company, 3rd platoon. And didn't do 131 because 131 is a J. All right. Thought about buying some of the snow effect and going back some of these winter troops. Not sure. I'm going to try it, but I haven't bought the stuff yet. It doesn't do me any good to buy it now. But I'm not going to cover the whole stain. I would put it like in different places. I don't know. There's enough people showing me how to do it. I should be in good hands as long as I follow directions. I should be in good hands. Yeah, so I don't mind using the Afrika Korp palm tree decals, even when they're split in the middle. They line up okay. I don't like the ones that don't have a swastika on them because painting the swastika after the fact is very difficult. So if I'm going to paint them by myself, I'm going to put the swastika on it first, and then build the palm tree up and down over it. And it turns out okay. Remind me, and I'll send you a picture of it. I don't want to put it on video. And the bots, it'll wake up the bots. I don't care about showing this kind of stuff to people. I just care about showing it arbitrarily to people, and then the bots pick it up. Like, these guys are assholes, okay? We're not promoting that stuff, but that's what they put on their tanks. So, sorry, I didn't ask them to be assholes. All right, so we have over here, we have 212 and 213. This will be 212. There is Justin having his cup of coffee. I know several people that are in positions where they have to get things done and they don't drink coffee. They must do Coke then, because I wouldn't get anything done without coffee. But first, coffee. Let's find a new place to mix this up. I actually don't like the taste of coffee. But it gets things done. Get your brain a working. All right, so this is 212. So we need a big ass 2 over here. We got another cold spell last night, cold for here, which isn't a complaint. I welcome as many of them as you can give me. However, when it warms up again, the pollen will start going again. It's another pollen discharge. That's 212. We'll go over to this side. And that's why I don't put any kind of a notification on my phone, because my vibrator just went off. And then we'll do the same 2, 1, 2 on the back. I need to hold this in a different way. 12 degrees today, not bad. Yeah, it's a cold weather alert. Well, no shit. It feels like 47. That's not cold. That's nice. I'd even wear shorts in 47. It actually turned out pretty well. Two, 1, 2. Unfortunately, it's backwards due to filming on the phone like this. Okay. And this one's 2, 1, 3. Oh, this one's 2, 1, 3. '47 is warm in Michigan and go camping. I'd go camping in 47-degree weather. The problem is when I've been camping in Florida, it's been 97-degree weather. And not in here, the heat comes with bugs. It's not like, oh, it's just hot. Oh no, they're like, all over you. All up in you. Two, 1, 3. Okay. Yeah, I did 2 tours in the Boy Scouts. I'm not interested in going camping again. I know, that's not how you do camping. Well. Wagner Park in Harbor Beach, Michigan is a good campground. What is this, 2, 1, 3? Yeah, I'd go camping if it was like in the mountains or something like that. There's something to look at. Not, a swamp next to the other swamp. Like, yay. Oh, joy. Swamp creatures. Like lakes. People go, oh, I love going to the lake. You don't want to go to a lake in Florida. It's a shithole. We don't have good lakes here. And forget the critters that are in the lake. It's just freaking ugly, man. We don't have good scenery until it's next to the coast. There's a lot of campgrounds down in the Ocala National Forest, which is kind of near us. But like, why would you want to camp there? There's like nothing there other than like a bombing range and okay. And now we got 213 done. So now we're going to do the same thing. Let's lighten up. Oh well, no, actually we have two more steps. We have to do the straight red. Porcupine Mountains in the Upper Peninsula is beautiful to camp. It's rustic grounds. That's a good name for it. Are there porcupines there? Actually, I don't know where the hell porcupines are from. They might as well be from Michigan. I don't know where they had them. I thought maybe out west, way out west. You guys have badgers, don't you? I think there's badgers in that middle country there. Wolverines. Oh, you still have wolves? Yeah. I'm not scared of wolves unless you go out camping unarmed. Like, why would you want to do that? I just want to be one with nature. You're going to be lunch, man. I have to clean that one out. That looks like it was painted with lipstick a little bit. mm. It's not animals you're afraid of, it's other humans. Really? You got that many bad people up there? I don't worry about humans out in the woods. I worry about them in the inner city, in the high New York type places. Oh man. I worry about a place where millions live, all on top of each other. Because you get those people in the big cities, like, if something goes wrong, they won't even help you. Like, because you're getting stabbed. You're like, man, help me. This guy's stabbing me. And everybody's just walking around like going, he's just expressing himself. Leave him alone. It's your fault he's stabbing you by being there. What? Oh, it was perfectly fine, but you decided to show up and you're like, stabbing victim. Have you been camping and there's been other people that have been camping and they come over and get in your shit? Because I could just see, okay, you're camping there with your family or whatever. You're doing your thing. You got all the space to yourself. Why would somebody like, want to come and get in your business? You know? Did you know tons of people go missing every year in the Appalachian Trail? I did not. Are they all related to each other? Hey, you're the one that said Appalachian. Yeah, I go in my car anywhere and I got it just in case with me. Oh, Snapdragon. Well, that was a quick fix. I did not know that. Have the time. If that happens, it's because they're drunk. Really? Because the people go missing? They have too much to drink, man. What I mean by drunk is they get into your shit. Yeah, I don't, I believe in personal boundaries. The neighborhood I used to live in, the houses were like on a third of an acre, which basically meant if you went outside to get something out of your car and your neighbor was out there, it would be really awkward if you didn't say hi to them because they're like really close. But they're not so close that, you hear them what they're doing inside their house, unless they're having a hell of a party. But I don't think that ever happened once. But all right, we've done all these. Actually, I don't know that I did the back here. Is this the original one? 2-1, man, I'm getting confused. Yeah, I guess this is the original one. Let's just add the straight red to it. And that's what I'm used to. So when I moved here and the houses are on an acre lot, like, man, this is how it should always be. But even now, I think we're too close together. I just don't have any privacy. So I don't necessarily need more. I just wish our backyard was closed in. That's all. Front yard's fine, but you can't close in your backyard here. It's kind of the only bummer. Which honestly is pretty good if I'm going to have only one complaint. That's a pretty decent complaint to have. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's just how it is. So, but I've seen people that live out in the middle of nowhere and they have no privacy. Like, well, why live out in the middle of nowhere if you have no privacy? You know? I noticed places like Florida, like Zephyr Hills, people live real close to each other to meet. That's kind of eerie, but why so close? I don't know. So here's the thing that now that you mentioned that, I started thinking about it. Um, a lot of people that live in these places that are friendly to retirees, and I'm not even talking about the people with the upside down pineapple business. I'm talking about people that are like normal that just live really close together. They come from up north where you have no privacy. So having your own lot with nobody else on your own property is like extra space. And the problem is you have so many people that are in these areas that it drives the price of the property up so much, and nobody wants to spend $200,000, $300,000 on a piece of land. So like I know the guy across the street. He's a nice guy. I don't know how many people live in his house. I want to say 3, and I swear he's got 5 or 6 head of car out there. He's got cars out there all the time, and they're not in bad shape. He just has a lot of cars, and they're not hot rods or anything. He's just like a normal older guy, but he's always outside. Always, like he must have like, oh, if I go inside, she's gonna give me a honeydew list, so I'm just gonna stay outside. Some people are just outside all the time. I don't mind being outside unless it's hot. But I'm at work all day, so outside. So I don't really want to be outside. But yeah, those third of an acre, I don't know if I could do that again. And I did a condo one time, and the problem with a condo is if you have a leak on your roof, you can't fix it yourself. You can't, because it's part of a unit. Like, okay, well, we got to have a meeting and we got to give at least 2 weeks announcement. And we didn't meet quorum. And then like, dude, can I repair my own roof like it's leaky? No, we can't do that. Like, it's just too restrictive when it comes to stuff like that. And communal parking, I don't want to live anywhere where somebody can just park wherever the hell they want in front of my house and they don't even live there. Like, no. Like, don't take my parking away from me. But I'm one of those people that, if I'm inside the house, we have these window treatments that were really expensive. We put them in, and they're blinds, but they're blinds that you can pull down from the top or pull up from the bottom. So if you want light, you can pull them down and nobody outside can see what's going on inside. Because I find it weird when you drive in front of somebody's house and all you see is this huge screen TV and they're facing away from the window. I'm like, why would you have the window open to everybody outside and they can see everything that's going on inside? Like, that's just like not normal, you know? But Zephyr Hills is somewhere that's really new, and it caters to retirees. So if you used to live in Boston or something like that, well, now you're living large. You got your own property. You don't care that it's a little bit of territory because nobody's got to. You don't have to mow a lot. It's just a different type of thing. It's probably not what you're looking for, and it's not what I'm looking for, and the price of the property is just really, really expensive. Plus, you're paying taxes on that. You're paying taxes on the property, even if it's just sitting there. Now, I don't really want to live somewhere it's on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, but I would like this neighborhood is just fine. It's suburbia for me. It's not. This is kind of a country little town, but it's 10 miles from the town that I grew up in, and it doesn't look like it's a dirt road or anything. It doesn't have a dirt road or anything. I wouldn't be used to it. I live on 2.5 acres. Okay, Marcus, you got to run. Got to take care of business. Oh shit, I got to run too. Damn it. 2.5 acres sounds like a lot, but it isn't because it's only like double the size of this and then a half. Yeah, it's not that big. I'm not saying you don't have enough property. I'm just saying that I don't think. I mean, I'd like 2.5 acres also, but I wanted to be wooded. I wanted to be, have some privacy. You know. Hedges and a fence and a moat, and electrified. Anyhow. All right, we'll have to finish doing these numbers on these Panzer threes tomorrow. I mean, later this evening or tomorrow, depending on how it works out. All right, folks, thanks for coming by. See you later, folks. Bye-bye.